Hello, and welcome to Theresa's Real Estate Review. I'm Theresa Sannicandro, and I want to wish you a happy spring, first of all. But I'm very happy to have with me as my guest today my friend and my past seller client, Doreen Condry of Doreen Condry Interiors.
Thank you for having me, Theresa.
Welcome to the show, Doreen. I'm happy
Thank
you're
you.
with us. I'd like to start off by just giving a little bit of information about how Doreen and I met. We met in Upton. We both live in Upton, and we've raised our boys there for many years. And we met back in the Little League in the T-ball. We used to go to all the games, and and that's actually how we started our friendship. So for those of you, and actually that was many years ago. I mean, my oldest is now 28, and I have 3 boys, and Doreen has 2. And for those of you who don't know Doreen very well, I can attest the fact that she, first of all, is a very, very high-quality businesswoman because she owns Doreen Condry Interiors, and she also owns her own custom drapery business. But along with that, she's a high-quality human being as well. And I say that because when anybody is in need in the town of Upton, whether it be if it's a death in the family or something, just anybody that is hurting in the town of Upton, Doreen is always the person that is there for that person. Whether it's baking for them or bringing them meals or even doing a fundraiser. So I just wanted to mention that because I know many people may not know you like I do.
Oh, thank
so
you,
along with
Theresa.
being a high-quality businesswoman, she's also a very high-quality person. So I just wanted to say that at the beginning.
That means a lot to me. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and it's true, Doreen.
Thank you.
So at the beginning, what I'd like you to do is, if you could just tell the audience and the viewers today how you got into your business of interior design.
Well, actually, as a very young girl, I had the most wonderful parents. And basically, both of them were very, very talented people. My dad was a master carpenter and an artist. He was a sign painter, and he did most of them. Back then, he did everything freehand. So I was exposed to so much as a young girl. My mom was a bookkeeper and a seamstress. So God has blessed me with all of these talents combined, and I'm able to, I remember being a young person and getting a little sewing machine. I had a sewing machine on one side and a paintbrush on the other. So I took those skills and I honed them over the years. And I remember my mother always asking me to help her with the draperies because she was a seamstress, but she was a clothing seamstress. And she worked for my cousin at her store, her boutique. And then she decided to start making draperies just for herself.
Right.
And so I would help her. So I had the greatest training growing up. Then later on, as I grew and matured, I did sewing for people, but I also worked with a local interior designer and a dear friend of mine that helped me to learn the ropes of the business and just basically how to handle different scenarios within design. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And 10 years ago, I started Doreen Condry Interiors. So I've been very blessed.
And what areas do you cover, Doreen?
What areas do you mean locality-wise? Yes. Okay. Basically, Theresa, I will travel anywhere for design. I think I had mentioned to you at one point that I had a client that was in the local area of Mendon, and she basically had moved far away. She moved to Minnesota. Well, she loved me so much that she flew me to Minnesota.
Wow, that's awesome.
And I did on-site work with her. I took her shopping for her furniture and her rugs and her accessories. And then I did all the measurements and made all of her draperies, and then I shipped them back to her.
Wow, that's awesome. So you will definitely travel.
I absolutely
wherever
will.
you need it. Okay.
Absolutely.
And just so the viewers know also, not only are we good friends, but I also listed, and we sold Doreen's house. It's actually right here, up here on my banner, this gorgeous colonial in Upton. We actually sold that about a year ago, last December. So I've known her for many, many years. So I guess what I'd like to know, too, is as a seller or buyer representative, Doreen, how can you assist either of those clientele for me?
Okay. Well, let's start with the seller, okay? When you're selling a home, which, as Theresa mentioned, I recently did that, and It was not the easiest thing to do, but I absolutely had the best person aside of me helping me
Thank you.
with all of the ropes. And I can't say enough about Theresa and how she assists her clients and the marketing she does and just the hand-holding and the support.
Thank
but
you.
not to, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Not to get off track, but you deserve that.
Thanks.
So back to the seller. Basically, even when I sold my home, I actually, Theresa always says to me, you already had your house ready for selling.
Oh, definitely. Move-in ready, pristine.
Move-in ready. But some sellers need assistance with streamlining their home and basically getting it ready for buyers to come in to realize that they could live there. Okay? So what I would do is I would come in and I would work with each client, each seller, to determine what they have on site for furniture and basically streamline it.
Because what I always advise sellers is you live in your home a certain way, but when it comes on the market, it now becomes a product. So we have to
Absolutely.
attract the buyers to that product. So you have to step back from your personal feelings about it. And everybody's attached. Most people are attached to their homes.
Oh,
so you need to step back. And I know that was difficult for you, Doreen.
That was so difficult for
'cause
me, and
she
thank you for
absolutely
bringing
loved
that
it,
up
yeah.
because many of us, our homes are representative of who we are inside.
That's right.
And we share our homes with the people we love, and we share our homes with our friends and family.
So
And
it is hard when you bring it on the market to step back and allow people to come in and view your property when you're used to, especially if you're very private like you are, Doreen.
Right.
I mean, if you're a private person, it's very difficult.
Right.
But can you explain the types of projects you handle in your design business and custom drapery business as well?
I absolutely can. Let me give you a few examples of what types of projects I've been working on, say in the last year or 6 months.
6 months, okay.
Okay. Let me give you an example. There are varieties of design projects that I do. Some involve one-on-one counseling, consulting, and they're basically more short-term projects. Someone may, recently I had a client call and they wanted me to come in and do a color analysis for their home. And I went in to consult with them probably for 2 hours that time. And then they called me back. They really, really liked me so much that they wanted me to come back to take a look at how the painting had come out and to basically assess their spaces. And what I came up with was I asked them where they spent most of their time. And the way this particular house was laid out, it was a very beautiful home. It was laid out in such a way that there was a kitchen and a nook, and then there was a butler pantry and a dining room. And it really felt kind of far away, the dining room. And I asked the client, I said, do you use this dining room often? And the person said, no, we really don't. And I said, you know, you might want to repurpose this room, and you might want to use it as a study. And then what I see in your scenario is you have this beautiful island. And when it was built, the granite or the countertop was never brought over enough to be a lip for seats and bench, chairs to sit around it. Well, if they make that one change, they would be able to have all of their family in one place. So that was an interesting situation that we had talked about, and I feel they really appreciated my involvement because they may not have seen the potential of a space.
So you offer consultations for your clients.
So that's a consultation
That's a
form.
consultation, and you also would go over, like when I deal with sellers sometimes, I'll go into a property and many of the rooms are not neutral. So you also give a color consultation if they need it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Now the other form, we also do projects, design projects that may involve more time.
Okay.
And some of those you would get a retainer to do a long period of time. I'll give you an example. There would be a client, one of my clients had a full open basement. And they really wanted a few specific items that they brought joy to them. They wanted a ping pong area. They wanted a reading niche. They wanted a wine tasting area. So what I can do, just so you know, any clients out there that need this, I'm not an architect, but I can do drawings. I can do 3D drawings that can help you to understand the spatial layout and how it could turn out. The only time we would need, in a basement renovation, for example, we might need an architect if we had something structural that needed to change.
Right,
But otherwise, I could handle that and provide you with drawings, etc.
So you offer so much when you think about it. You offer your design, you know, you can go in and do interior design. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned at the beginning of the show that Doreen also does custom drapery work, which is absolutely gorgeous. She deals with very high-end fabric, which we have actually samples of it right here. A few fabrics that Doreen brought along today, but you could actually meet with Doreen and you do consultation for your draperies. Why don't you tell the
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell them about that too.
I would love for you to understand how that all works, because some people don't know how it works when you work with a custom drapery designer. So basically, these are just some fabric samples here.
Beautiful. High quality.
They're very high quality, and basically what I would do is I would come to your home and assess. Maybe you have one room. In fact, I have a client that I meet with tomorrow that has 2 rooms, a family room and a kitchen. And my expertise is that I'm a custom drapery designer, so I will design things custom. I will see a shape in your room that will bring out a design. And then I will come up with, we'll look through fabrics, and I have all different vendors that I can work with. I have vendors that are very high-end from the Design Center out in Boston, or I have other vendors that may fit into a more modest budget. So it's basically a one-on-one consultation to determine what room you'd like to embellish, and it's all about embellishing. And the difference with custom draperies is they're there for a very long period of time. It's an investment. So it's not something that you would change every season like they did years ago. You take the drapes down, you wash them, and then you put up another set in the spring, etc. This is something where it's an investment. You can vacuum them, you can dry clean them, and they're timeless.
And that brings up a good point. When we sold your property in Upton, which, as I mentioned, was a gorgeous colonial, Doreen had done all the interior design work in her house. It looked like a model home. And she also did all the custom draperies, which were included with the sale. And by the way, when you do sell a high-end property like that, most people do ask for the custom draperies to be included. So that's a great point that Doreen brings up. When you invest in them, they are an investment.
Yes.
You can get that a return on investment when you go to sell your property.
Absolutely. And draperies are just like the investment you make in furniture.
Right.
And as Theresa said, you can get a return on investment down the road when you're getting ready to sell.
Definitely. And how can you assist your clients when they have a difference in opinion, Doreen?
That's a very important question,
It is, yeah.
Theresa. Thank you for asking that question. What I feel my role is, first of all, my clients are very, very special to me. When I have a relationship with a client, it's timeless to me. I am there from the initial project as they evolve and change.
And you treat them like family.
I
know
do
that. You
treat
do.
them like family. They become a very important part of my life, and I value the business that they bring me more than you can imagine. And I feel each client is a gift.
Each client is a gift.
Right.
And I feel that way in my business too. When you meet people, you know, it's a relationship that's going to be developing over many years. And you have to
Absolutely.
treat them like family. I mean, I know you do, Doreen.
Well,
definitely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And as far as mediation, I feel like having a mediator to make decisions like this, because they involve money, they can be costly. It might be a one-time consult that's not as costly, but you may involve me in a project that, from pre-construction to finish, that involves some investing and budgetary thought process. In this case, it's very helpful because many wives and husbands have difference of opinion.
They do. I find that quite often too. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that needs to be valued. And I try to bring both opinions to the table, and we come to a realistic solution on how to handle
And that's a
that
gift,
next
Doreen,
step.
that you have that. That's a true gift to be able to do that with people.
Aw.
So I just wanted to compliment you on that.
Thank you, Theresa.
Now,
I
each
appreciate
client, you're welcome. Each client has a different budget, and I know you work all budgets. How do you qualify the client?
Okay. As I mentioned just in the previous segment here, there are various projects that you work on. If someone has a large, let's look at in fact, I have a client out in Paxton right now, and they have a first floor renovation. That's a larger project.
Right.
Okay, that would be a project-based design project.
Okay.
Okay? In that case, what I would do is I would go over and I would evaluate what is needed. I would assess the job. And then I would also begin to measure and do, this particular person wants the dining room embellished. They want crown moldings, they want picture frame moldings, they want chair rail. So what I did for this particular client is I did all of the measurements, and then I went home and did a 3D drawing of that particular room, and then we had another area as well in the kitchen that was just a plain wall that had openings. Well, we wanted to make it more creative, so I came up with an arched design, and that as well I went home and did a drawing for. And then that project would involve me enlisting my contractors and my subcontractors.
So you two, it seems to me, and I've dealt with other people in the past, you seem to offer a lot more as an interior designer than most do.
Well, I
That's
think
what I
think that my training with my family, my father being a master carpenter, my husband is an amazing
Yes.
carpenter as well. Even though he's an engineer, he's just very good at that. He does everything.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for him.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of exposure to electricians and plumbers and carpenters, and
So you can
name
bring
it.
that with you when you meet with clients.
Absolutely. So in this particular situation, I enlist the subcontractors. They're working basically for me at that point, and I'm instructing them on the exact details that I want them to handle.
Okay.
And then they go in and they'll take care of the job, and then I will inspect and do a walkthrough of the job. And then more cases than not, I'm in for another project. They'll want to do another room, or someone might want, to have a bathroom done, for example. They may not know how to pick the tile, and they may have a smaller budget. But they may say to me, Doreen, could you please come to me to the tile store? And I have vendors on all sides of the planet. So wherever they are, I will have a connection somewhere, and I will take them there. So they will pay me for my expertise.
Right.
So that's a one-time kind of shot where I can help them to figure out their needs.
Okay, so you actually go with them.
Absolutely.
And
I will
help them
take
with
them
that's great.
shopping.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes people just haven't done it before, and they need somebody with them to give them,
Right.
good advice. That's
Right,
great.
and everyone, Theresa, I always say this to all of my clients. They'll say, well, I don't know how to do that. And I'll say, everyone has different gifts.
Right. That's
And
so
it's
true.
okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's okay to add that investment into your plan, because that will help you to go by my motto, which is live in what you love.
Live in what you love. I love
You
that.
know,
And it's so true.
When you make your space a place that reflects who you are,
You're much happier.
You're much happier.
You're much happier.
Some people love to read. Some people love to dance. Some people love to sing. I love to. Everyone
What
that
is
knows
your
me.
passion, by the way?
My favorite things to do. I grew up on the stage, so
As
my
the-
passion. I love my work.
Yep.
Beyond words, but my passion lies in dancing, singing, and acting.
There you go.
So that's
awesome.
my favorite. Those are my favorite things to do.
Okay. And I know that I work strictly by referral in my real estate business, and I'm assuming that you also work by referral as well.
I do, and quite honestly, Theresa, as I mentioned, Theresa does an amazing job with her marketing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You
I
do
love
a
my job too.
Fabulous work, fabulous work. I also have marketing tools that I use, but my biggest marketing tool is word of mouth.
That's so true.
That's my biggest marketing
It's
tool.
so true. When you do a great job for somebody, and I know that when you meet with these people, that's as soon as you're done with your projects, I'm sure they're going to call up their friends, whoever's interested, because rather than looking at a telephone book or to Google nowadays, everybody is going to their friends and people that they can trust for referrals. And that's how I run my business, and I'm sure that's how you run yours.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to,
Absolutely.
you can just know that when they call you up, they've already told this person how wonderful you are, you can go in, and working by referral is the best way to work, I think.
It's the best tool that there is.
It is, definitely.
And I'm grateful for that, the good old boy network. That's
right.
what it is.
So I know that you offer high quality work. You also offer gorgeous fabrics, as we mentioned earlier. She has a number of gorgeous fabrics to choose from if you do go ahead and order your custom draperies with Doreen. She treats her clients like family, and as Doreen said, she wants a lifetime relationship with these people, not just during the project, and you can follow up with her afterwards. And if you had, I'm sure, now how does it work if someone calls you up and wants you to return? If you finished a project, you can go back and start a whole new project with it.
Absolutely.
How often does that happen? Does that happen
in
quite
more
often?
cases than not.
Okay.
In probably 90% of the cases.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Absolutely, maybe even 95. There are 10%, maybe 5 to 10%, where they do one project, and basically, I may or may not hear back from them. They may have, finished their home or what have you, and don't have the need to make any changes.
Yeah.
Other clients will have me come in, they'll start with one room, and then they'll go on to the next. Sometimes they'll do more than one room. Sometimes they'll do an entire project or an entire addition. And then they'll have me come back to do the draperies.
Okay.
Or they'll have me go, in fact, I worked with another wonderful client back in the fall, and this client had me come in for color. Then we went on a major shopping spree the next time, and we had a wonderful time, and we picked soup to nuts carpets.
It's fun to go shopping.
And I'm waiting for her to call me to do draperies.
That's so much fun.
So that'll be the icing on the cake for that project.
Oh, wow. Now, what do you think is your most busy time of year, Doreen?
I feel that I have been very, very blessed to have work in most cases. Even with the economic climate, I feel that I have been able to maintain a good level of
Which is
business.
a sign that you're an expert at what you do, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also, I can't really pinpoint. I'd say the holidays tend to be, well, they're busy in that people want to get their homes done.
They want to have it for entertaining, right?
For the holidays.
Yeah.
So, there are, like right after the holidays, it can be a quieter time because people are contemplating their projects.
Right.
But not soon after that, they're ready to go. So.
And many people, this is as many of you know, this is our prime selling season in real estate. We're in the midst of our prime spring market right now. So many of you may be preparing your homes for sale and looking to reach out to people to help you with that preparation. So I'm just asking you that if you are interested in having someone such as Doreen come in and even have a consult with you as to what your property needs to bring it on the market, why don't you tell everybody how they can reach you and what your contact would be?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let me give you my website, folks, and please, by all means, peruse the website. It would
Beautiful website.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
a gorgeous website.
Thank you, Theresa. It's www.Doreen, Doreen, Condry, Condry, Interiors, Interiors.com. Again,
And before and after, I know you put in before
I
and
have
after, which
before
is
and afters in there.
it's so great for visuals, and that many people are visuals, so
Absolutely,
it's good to do that.
absolutely. I just had another thought that I wanted to quickly mention. This is prime season for graduation parties
Yes,
and all sorts
true.
of parties. I also am hired to do the event.
That's a good point.
If you need help with anything like that. So again, reach out to my website, www.DoreenCondryInteriors.com, and you can reach me at 508-529-6716, or my mobile number, 508-726-9580. I'd be happy to help you.
Well, thanks, Doreen. And I also wanted to mention that because we're in the spring season, there are many people, I advise sellers to come on early rather than wait for, say, May or June to come on the market. And the reason is we have very low inventory right now. So because we have low inventory, there are so many buyers that properties that are coming on now are selling very quickly. And most often they also sell with multiple offers because of that. So those of you who are thinking, well, I'd rather have the green grass and the flowers, you'll also have a lot more competition at that point if you do wait.
Absolutely.
So For those of you who are thinking they want to come on the market and they'd like to have Doreen help them, just give Doreen a call. I have seen her work. She takes pride in her work, and she's very meticulous, which I'm sure you'll very much appreciate, especially when you're dealing with custom draperies and interior design work. So I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so
It was
much
so
for
nice,
having me,
so nice
Theresa.
having you with me.
Thank
And-
you so much.
And it was very good. I'm sure everybody viewing today valued all the information you gave them.
Well, anything I
thank
can
you.
help with, any project you are even just contemplating, please give me a call. I'd
Thank
love
you.
to help you.
And I'd like to have all of you join me again next month, in the month of April, where I'm going to be interviewing another real estate professional. So join us back then in April. It'll probably be in mid-April, and I'd be happy to see you then. And thanks for tuning in today.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.